Hello, and if you didn't understand from the previous videos, my annoyance is being waken up early, especially if I don't have to be up at that time. There are three big contributors to this annoyance for me, the first being early morning classes. The second factor is the traffic or the emergency vehicles that I can hear from Bronson, especially if I leave my window open at night. The third and probably biggest factor is living next to a high school and hearing kids going to school, and for some reason they feel the need to scream first thing in the morning. All of these factors interfere with my sleep, which in the long term can affect both my physical and mental health. My annoyance or pet peeve then essentially affects my international right to health. This can be displayed in two international conventions. The first international law that can be applied to my pet peeve is the International Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. This was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly on December 16, 1966, and then came into force January 3, 1976. Canada ratified this in May 1976. Part of this treaty that applies to my pet peeve is Section 12.1, which states, "The states parties to the present covenant recognize the right of everyone to the enjoyment of their highest attainable standard of physical and mental health." The second international law that can be applied to my pet peeve is the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. This was adopted also by the United Nations General Assembly on December 19, 1966, and then came into force on March 23, 1976. Canada ratified this covenant in May 1976. The part of this treaty that applies to my pet peeve is Section 6.1, which states that every human being has the inherent right to life. This right shall be protected by law. No one shall arbitrarily be deprived of his life. A domestic connection to these international laws can be drawn. This connection can be found in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedom, which was established in 1982. Specifically, Section 7 of the Charter would apply in this case. Section 7 states that everyone has the right to life, liberty, and security of the persons, and the right to not be deprived thereof except in accordance with the principles of fundamental justice. All of these can be used to protect my right to health and life through an international and domestic perspective. These can contribute to my right to health and life because with a lack of sleep from being waken up too early, it can become detrimental to my overall well-being. This can cause numerous negative consequences and tolls on my physical and mental state, which would impair my ability to live with the highest standard of health, which in return reflects my overall life.